u.com.
Okay, welcome students. So in this session we are going to study about multiprocessor configurations. So what is multiprocessor and what are the advantage of multiprocessor and what are the different types of multiprocessor? These are things we are going to study in this session. Okay. So first we are going to see the need for multiprocessor system. What is the need for multiprocessing system? So what is multiprocessor? Multiprocessor system will have two or more processor that can execute instruction or perform operations simultaneously. So two or more processor can execute instruction and perform operations simultaneously. So Intel dual core அது 2 ப்ராசஸர் அதில் உண்டு. கோர் டு டியோ அதுலேயும் ரெண்டு ப்ராசஸர் 2 கோர் உண்டு. ஓகே, ஸோ both the cores are execute the instruction simultaneously. So the speed of the execution is increases. That will increase the performance of the computer. So this is a multiprocessor. Then the need for multiprocessor, that is important 2 more question. So due to the limited data width, the lack of floating point arithmetic instructions, limited data width. For example, 8086 microprocessor have 16-bit data width, but in some applications it needs 32-bit data length. So here to increase 16-bit to 32-bit we are using some other processor. Then lack of floating point arithmetic instructions. Floating point operations cannot be done in 8086 microprocessor. So in order to do floating point operations we must use floating point processor. So we need multiprocessor. Then 8086 requires many instructions for computing even single floating point operations. So to compute the floating point operations, the 8086 use numeric data processor 8087 that will help the microprocessor 8086 to do floating point operations. Some processor like DMA controller can help 8086 with low level operations, while the CPU can take care of high level operations. So DMA controller already we studied in last session. So it automatically transfer the data between memory to one memory to another memory without the knowledge of CPU. Okay, so these are the multiprocessor. So multiprocessor that is used to increase the performance of the computer hardware. So recap, that's in last class we have studied multi-programming and the process management of multi-programming. So in this session we are going to see multiprocessing. What is the difference between processing and programming? Programming is we are writing the code. Processing is that is the execution of programming. So the objective of this session is you would know the multiprocessing and its different types. This is the objective of this session. Okay, so multiprocessor configuration, the one of the important processor is coprocessor, that is Intel 8087. The coprocessor is used with 8086 so that increase the performance of the microprocessor. First you can see the multiprocessor configuration. The multiprocessor system refer to the use of multiple processor that execute instructions simultaneously and communicate with each other using mailbox and semaphores. So one or more processor that can execute the instructions simultaneously and communicate with each other using mailbox and semaphore. So this is a multiprocessor configuration. Maximum mode of 8086 is designed to implement 3 basic multiprocessor configurations. So multiprocessor always maximum mode. Minimum mode means that is a single chip processor. Maximum mode means multi-processor. So 8086 is set into maximum mode, and it is divided into three major configuration. First one co-processor, then second one closely coupled, and third one loosely coupled configuration. These three configurations are we are going to study today. First one you are going to see closely coupled co-processor. So the co-processor and closely coupled configurations are similar in that both 8086 and the external processor shares the memory, I/O system, bus, control logic, and buses and clock generator. So co-processor and closely coupled configurations are same. Both are share the system memory, I/O, bus and bus control logic, and clock generator. Let us see the one flow chart of co-processor. Co-processor is 8087. So 8087 has separate instruction. That instruction is inserted with 8086 program. So 8086 is a co-processor. So it have different instructions. So these instructions are combined with 8087 instruction, 8086 instructions. So what will happen? The 8086 and 8087 read the instruction bytes and put them in respective queue. So both are read the bytes and it is put into respective queue. That is for storage purpose, temporary storage purpose. Then the no operation is just rest period or wait state. Then 8087 instruction have 11011 as a MSB of their first code byte. So 8087 instruction is identified by 11011. Okay, then the 8087 keeps track for escape instruction by monitoring S2, S1 and S0, that is the status lines and address and data lines of 8086. The 8087 keeps track of escape instruction by monitoring S0 to S2 and the address and data lines of 8086. Also keeps track of QS1, that is Q status, and QS1 and QS0. So 8087 always keep track for escape instruction by monitoring status lines and address and data lines of 8086. Also it also monitoring the Q status. Q status is 0 means do nothing. Q status is 0, 1 means 8087 compare the 5 MSB bits with 11011. After comparison, if there is a match, then the escape instruction is fetched and executed by the 8087. If there is a error during the decoding, an escape instruction of 8087 sent an interrupt request. So this is the co-processor process status. So initially the co-processor has separate instructions. That instruction is combined with the 8086 program. Then after reading the program, the programs are loaded into their respective queues. Then 8087 consider the escape instruction by monitoring status and address data lines of 8086. If also keeps track of status, Q status. If Q is 0 means Q status is 00 means this does nothing. Q status is 01 means 8087 compare 5 MSB bits with 11011. After the comparison, if it is match, then the escape instruction is fetched and executed by the 8087. If error does not match means the decoding of escape instruction of 8087 sent as interrupt request. So this is a coprocessor operations. Then finally memory read or write is applied, then additional word request grant signal is applied, then 8987 busy bin is entered into high, then test pin is lowered, then wait set. These are the consideration of coprocessors. Coprocessor are closely coupled processor. So this diagram indicates coprocessor or closely coupled configuration. So here 8086 and coprocessor are independent processor. Both are share the bus control logic and system bus. So both the processor share IO, memory and bus control logic in equal manner, and it also share the clock. So the common clock is applied to 8086 and coprocessor. Then the coprocessor and 8086 directly communicate through the lines. So this is a basic block diagram of coprocessor and closely coupled configurations. Then test pin of 8086. What is test pin? What is the use of the test pin? The test pin is used in conjunction with the wait instruction in multiprocessor environments. So wait instruction, that is used to wait the CPU for some time. So whenever the execution of wait instruction, the test pin is considered. So the test pin is used in conjunction with the wait instruction in multiprocessor environment. This is input from 8087 coprocessor. This is input from 8087 coprocessor. Actually test pin present in 8086. So the test pin is connected to 8087. So the test pin of 8086 is a input. During the execution of wait instruction, CPU check this signal. If it is low, then the execution of the signal will continue. If not, it will stop the execution. So the check test pin is low, then execution of the signal will continue. If not, the execution is stopped. So the test pin is very important pin, that the signal is used to control the execution, program execution. Then coprocessor execution example. Coprocessor cannot take control of bus. It does everything through CPU. So this is a flow chart of coprocessor. So coprocessor is 8087. 8086 is a microprocessor. So the coprocessor instruction is combined with the microprocessor instructions. So both the instructions are read by both the processor, and the instruction bytes are loaded into their respective queue. So if it is found escape instruction, so the 8086 microprocessor find escape instruction, it wake up the coprocessor. So the escape instruction that indicates that instruction is coprocessor instructions. So the 8086 find escape instruction, then immediately it will wake up the coprocessor. Then coprocessor monitor 8086 instruction and deactivate the host test bin and execute the specified operation. So the test bin is now low. The test pin is now low, so it will execute the operation. Okay, see here the test pin is low, then execution of the signal will continue. So the test pin is low, then it will execute the instruction. Then activate the test pin. Then now the test pin is high. After the execution, it will enable the test pin. Now the test pin is high. Now the coprocessor cannot execute the instructions. Then after that, it enter into monitoring stage. So the coprocessor monitor the 8086 microprocessor always whether the coprocessor instruction is coming or not. So the coprocessor is identified by escape prefix. Then if not escape, so that the 8986 execute its instructions. Then it is entered into wait state for the result. So after the completion of the 8987 execution, it will wake up the 8986 microprocessor to go to next work. So this is a simple flow chart of the coprocessor execution. Next we are going to see the closely coupled processor. So what is closely coupled processor? So the closely coupled processor, both coprocessor and closely coupled configuration both are similar. And it also share the memory, I/O and bus control logic clock generator. The main difference between coprocessor and a closely coupled configuration is no special instruction wait or escape instruction is used in closely coupled processor. So the only difference is there is no escape instruction is used in the closely coupled processor. The communication between 8086 and the independent processor is done through memory space. So memory space means the message present in memory. That message wake up the independent processor by sending command to off its port. An independent processor then access memory to execute task in parallel with 8086. When the task is completed, the external processor inform the 8086 about the completion of task by using either the status bit or interrupt request. So this is a closely coupled configuration. So the closely coupled processor may take control of bus independently. So the 8086 cannot be a closely coupled processor. Two 8086 cannot be closely coupled processor. See the flow chart. Initially in the 8086 setup one message. It received the setup message. So the setup message is present in memory. So the communication between 8086 and a coprocessor is only by a memory space, that is message. So the message tells the wake up independent processor with out instructions. So with an out instruction, wake up the independent processor, that means closely coupled processor with out instructions. Then at the same time, the independent processor is waiting the request from 8086 microprocessor. Wait for request of 8086 microprocessor. If the message is received from 8086 microprocessor, it will enable the instructions. Wake up the processor by using out instruction. Then the wait for request is completed. Now the information is received by the independent processor. Then fetch the message. Then perform the requested task. After that, notify the CPU of completion. That means the work is completed. That information is given to CPU. This is one cycle. Suppose the closely coupled instructions are not received in some case, then what will happen? The 8086 execute its instructions and it wait for ready or interrupt request from a closely coupled processor. So this is a simple flowchart of closely coupled configurations. Next we are going to see the loosely coupled configurations. So what is loosely coupled? Loosely coupled configuration, a number of modules of 8086 can be interfaced through the common system bus to work as multiprocessor system. So it is a number of module of 8086. What is module? So one single module consists of 886, then one RAM, then ROM, then clock generator, then system bus control, etc. So one simple closely coupled configuration present in a single module. Okay, then each module is in the loosely coupled configuration is independent microprocessor based system when its own clock source and own memory and I/O device are interfaced through local bus. Each module can also be closely coupled configuration of processor or coprocessor. Okay, so each module is a closely coupled configuration or coprocessor. Okay, that is the module present here. Each processor has its own clock as well as its own memory used for medium to large multiprocessor system. Each module is capable of being bus master. Any module could be processor capable of being bus master, coprocessor configuration. Okay, we'll see the diagram. So this is a diagram of closely coupled configuration. So here the long system bus is present. So that system bus is connected with different module. That is a module 1, module 2, module 3. These modules are communicate with the system memory and I/O device through this system bus. So each module consists of one independent 886 processor, clock generator, then local bus controller, and system bus logic. These are the blocks included in all the module. So it is very easiest method when compared to previous closely coupled configuration. The loosely coupled configuration is very easiest method and it is high speed and high static. So no direct connection between the module. Each share the system bus and communicate through shared resource. Processor in the separate module can simultaneously access their private subsystem through their local bus and perform their local data reference and instruction fetch independently. This results in improved degree of concurrent processing. Excellent for real-time application as separate module can be assigned to specialized task. So and apart from this you are having so many advantage. This loosely coupled configuration provide high system throughput that can be achieved having more than one CPU. So system throughput is highly achieved. Then system can be expanded in modular form. So each unit is single module considers a module. So it is expanded as a modular form. Each bus master module is an independent unit and normally resides on 3 separate PC boards. One can be added or removed without affecting the other system. The failure in one module normally does not affect the breakdown of entire system and the faulty module can be easily detected and replaced. Each bus master has its own local bus to access dedicated memory or I/O device. So greater degree of parallel processing can be achieved in multi-processor configuration because at the same time different modules perform different work. So the high degree of parallel processing is achieved in multiprocessor configurations. Then the frequently asked questions. Explain the different types of multiprocessing with neat diagram. Then explain about loosely coupled and closely coupled configurations. What is coprocessor? Explain the operation of coprocessor. So these are the important questions that is asked from this unit. Okay, by this slide the session is completed. It's going to be completed. So I hope that you are all understood what is multiprocessor and different types of multiprocessor than the process of multiprocessor. Okay, thank you. So thank you students. Bye.